What's up, everybody new? Say what's up. Say hello. Thank you for coming. It's going to be a great
It's
night. It's going to be a really, really fun time. How are you, David? Mr. Defended himself.
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me on.
Our
Um,
pleasure.
Means a lot. You guys are doing a great job for the community. Your videos are awesome.
Thank you.
Callie, uh, your video about There's a Man was massive for us. It got us a lot of subscribers and a lot of attention. And yeah,
Wow,
Deserved.
we've always been
Deserved.
thankful for that.
my pleasure. Honestly, my pleasure. Being discovering the Lost Wave community last November was like such an insane thing for me. And I remember watching just a ton of videos about your guys' song, and that song specifically resonated with me so much. So I really appreciate you saying that. Honestly,
Yeah. And for Geordie, um, I'm quite new to your content, but it was the copyright video that you made. I thought was really good. Some
Oh,
great
thank you.
points, and yeah, I was a subscriber straight away. I think what you're doing for the Lost Wave community and trying to keep it as a part of the community is a really great thing.
That's a very, very, very important thing to me. I think Lost Wave songs belong to us. Yeah,
Totally.
it's like the way I see a lot of people view it is, well, it's my copyright and, I own it. It's like, sure, you own your copyright, but like would any of that money be coming in if we didn't fucking relaunch your career? So,
yeah, I
Yeah.
think music copyright is really interesting too. I don't know if I don't know how it is over in the UK, but in like North America, it's pretty predatory. Um, and so being like a musician as well, I've spent a lot of time researching into this, and I actually made the choice to make all of my music copyright free. So I really respect when Lost Wave artists choose to uh respect the community in that way. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we wouldn't exist without the Lost Wave community. Um, the song was lost to us as much as it was lost
Hmm.
to everyone else, and without r slash Lost Wave and r slash There's a Man, like we were just getting up to go to work and as a normal day, and hating our jobs and stuff, and then all of a sudden we're on YouTube streams with cool people, and it's really fun.
That's sick. Also, really quick, I noticed, is that the mask in the background that you guys used for your music video that I'm seeing?
It is the mask, I thought.
Oh, nice. A
cheeky
little
little
Easter
Easter
egg
egg.
there.
Yeah, cheeky little Easter egg.
Yeah, yeah, I had to put something in there.
I love
Ah,
that. So you kind of touched on it, but I'm curious, what was your guys' reaction like when you guys first found out about the search? Like, how did you guys find out about the search?
So, Scott, the guitarist and the vocalist in the band, he was the first person to find it. So I think they managed to get his email address um, through an archived MySpace page,
Hmm.
and someone managed to get in touch with a guy called Scott Denny, who had the original Man on a Hill video from Glasgow from 16 years
Hmm.
ago. He had kept that video up for years, and the funny thing is maybe 2 or 3 weeks before all of that happened, I watched that video and it had like 100 views or something.
Wow.
And I woke up one morning, I had messages from Scott, and Scott and I are close and we're great good friends, but we hadn't
Hmm.
seen each other for a long time. And um, he sent me like this. He originally he thought that it was me playing a trick on him, and it was me that had emailed him. And he sent me like this text message that a picture of an email asking if he was in a band called The Defended, and he started looking into it, and he messaged. He was like, "Mate, Google Lost Wave and The
Hmm.
Defended, and there's a man." And we started looking into it, and it was crazy. It was just we just didn't know what was happening, and then we started seeing the Ukraine thing and
Hmm.
um the whole Lostwave community. That was our first sort of time ever even hearing about that, and
Hmm.
it was just shock. I think the first thing I did was just text my mum and
Yeah, of
told
course.
my mum,
What was her
and
reaction? I bet she was probably stoked about it.
she was freaking out.
Yeah.
She was just like, "What is going on? Like, this is crazy. This is." But I think there was a part of her that was defiant. It was like, "Oh, it's new. It was a great song."
Yeah. I mean, it
My
is.
mum
It's
has
so catchy.
my mum has been like our biggest fan
Hmm.
from the beginning. Like even now,
Yeah.
she's emailing newspapers and anyone who'll
Oh.
listen. She's telling people to listen to the song. Back then, she was sending the song out all over the place. Like we have no idea how it ended up on Ukrainian radio, but if I had to
Yeah.
hazard a guess, it's probably got something to do with my mum. So yeah, she's been a big fan from the start. So it's good
Oh. Well,
for her to be
that's
happy.
so sweet. That's awesome, man. Yeah, moms are always the number one fan. You know, I remember playing shows in like Vancouver when I was, I don't know, like 14 years old, and there was like three people in the audience, and all three of it was my mom, the drummer's mom, and the bassist mom, and that was our audience back then. So I totally feel that. That's actually like such a sweet kind of like story of like everything coming together. I would be so curious to know if your mom had something to do with your song ending up on Ukrainian radio. That'd be really cool.
It would be really awesome to track down. I think Arthur Bogashev, he's a
Hmm.
friend of ours on Instagram now. He's a Ukrainian guy, and I've spoken to him since, and
Hmm.
thanked him for putting the song on SoundCloud all those years ago, and
Yeah.
um, he it's so long ago that he can't really remember. He doesn't know either. So we did get played on radio in the
Hmm.
UK on BBC, on like a sort of new music, up and coming band kind of thing on Scottish radio,
Hmm.
and perhaps they share a library or a catalogue, and they give songs to smaller stations or something like that.
Hmm.
I've got no idea, but if I had to hazard a guess, I would say it was maybe something like that, but we have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I can see that happening. Um, so you guys kind of like just got thrown like head first kind of back into like the indie scene of music, you know? Um, how do you think that music has like changed since you originally wrote Man on a Hill, and how do you think that you'll continue to adapt to that moving forwards?
It's changed massively. Um, you know, when we recorded um, that EP that Man in the Hill is on, um, the process for that was like we have to get songs so that we can put them on MySpace, and
Hmm.
then when we play gigs, we can tell people to look at our MySpace, and then we'll have songs on there,
Hmm.
and that was like the sort of main driving behind getting our songs out there.
Oh, okay.
Um, and yeah, we made it on a budget, and uh, back then you would put your songs on MySpace. You would then message often gig promoters and venues, and hopefully they would listen to your music and offer you gigs,
Yeah.
or you would interact with other bands and speak to them and try and get slots with them. And at that time, especially in the UK, we're talking mid to late 2000s, the music scene was really, really, it was busy. It was saturated,
Yeah.
to be honest. There
Oh
was a
yeah.
lot of great bands, a lot of great bands coming up, and um, we were just one of another thousands of bands that were playing at that time.
Hmm.
A lot more people went to live music in those days. Speaking purely from a UK point of view,
Yeah.
and yeah, we just tried to gig as much as possible, and we
Hmm.
would give our CDs away for free. Nowadays, it's much more about social media, YouTube, and there's artists out there who are incredible who don't gig. They put videos on YouTube or Instagram, and um, they upload reels to YouTube, and that's how they get their music out there. So in some
Right.
ways, I think it's great that you can have a camera and a guitar and sing, and thousands of people can hear your
Hmm.
music, but at the same time, there's you're sometimes you're for some artists, they're writing for the algorithm as opposed to writing for their passion, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hoops that you have to jump through, and games that you have to play in order for the algorithm to basically select you and
Mm-hmm.
try and put your music out there. So, you know, when we were making the video for Back for More, we wanted to do something that, it was a bit different. It was striking. That's why we got the mask, and we had these ideas of having like this masked character kind of following this person around, and
Mm-hmm.
making choices for him, or being a part of this guy's sort of turmoil. And
Yeah.
we thought the images and vision of that would help, with the overall sort of style of the song. And
Mm-hmm.
we had help, we had help from some friends to help us film. And yeah, big shout out to Johnny and Stephen, and obviously Scott and the band
Mm-hmm.
for that. And yeah, like we just want to make music, make videos, and post it out there. We're not going to be doing TikTok trends and
Yeah.
dances and trying to trick the algorithm.
I
and
love
and
that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of artists that are doing that. There's a lot of artists that are pushing. You go onto their page and there's reel after reel after reel of the same song over and over again. They record it in 50 different places and they put it up, and they just keep spamming the song. And like
Oh yeah.
that's not going to be us. Like,
Yeah, is your goal
you know,
like I was kind of thinking this earlier. I'm assuming you're since you guys, not to say you're old, you're a little older now. You're not like fame hungry, but you still have that passion for music. So I'm guessing your goal is to just make music that the both of you like. You don't care if anyone else likes it, but it's just passion. You're sharing it with your friends essentially. That's what we are. We're all your friends, and you're just sharing your passion project with the world like that. And I
exactly.
love that. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we made Scott and I, who are we've been writing songs together since we were 17, and we
Mm-hmm.
made a decision when this happened, and we decided, okay, let's give this a go. The minute that it stopped being fun, or it can be hard work, it can be laborious, but as long as it's fun, then we'll continue to do it. And yeah, there was a lot of messages of people supporting us and trying to be really nice,
Mm-hmm.
but I think a lot of people thought that our aim was to try and just become famous as fast as possible, and
Yeah.
and try and play on the viral song, and push that and re-record it or make a video for it. And these are things that we might do in the future, but we wanted to sort of take this, let's just call it, it's a fluke, like a lucky break, and try and use that as a platform to
Start something new.
for something new, to try and show, look, we're actually songwriters, we're artists, we have these songs in us. And we might never get the 250,000 streams that Man on the Hill got, but as long as we're having
Mm-hmm.
fun, then that's it. And
Yeah,
so
it's
far
a
it's been
it's
enjoyable.
a big problem with a lot of Lostwave artists is they immediately latch on to that immediate success. Like they want that dopamine hit again, so they'll make
Yeah.
a new version, they'll remaster, and then all anyone ever wants to listen to from you is that one song. And you guys
Yeah.
right out the gate were like, here's the original version, but like here's some other stuff, here's some new stuff, here's this, here's that. And everyone just ate it up, and it's good songs. We're gonna play the new one at the end of this for everyone to hear, and it's a really good song. And I just want to congratulate you on that release.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Um, a question from Lucas in the chat. He is wondering if you guys plan on releasing any more older music, or is it kind of going to be a lot of new stuff from here on out? Like, what is your guys' release schedule sort of looking like?
So for older music, we have pretty much released all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Boys, Girls, and Broken Hearts EP, which we
Mm-hmm.
released on Spotify. We do have one other recorded song, which is called Nothing to Lose. It was the first song that we ever recorded. We
Wow.
recorded it when we were at college. Scott actually sings lead vocals on that song. He sang lead vocals on maybe two or three songs, I think, back then. And the rest of them was myself.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a recording of that song. It's very garage rock. It's punky.
Oh, that's awesome.
It sounds like a song that was written by 17-year-olds. But we do love it. And we will release that at some point.
Yeah.
how we do that, we're not so sure yet. We've had a lot of people asking us to release CDs and physical media and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that's something that we would want to do, but we're not trying to make money from anyone. So if we were
Yeah.
going to do that, it would possibly be we would make like 100 limited edition and we would give them away as prizes or something. Like it's for whoever writes the best comment on the YouTube video gets a CD or something like that.
I like
And
that.
then possibly put that song as a hidden track. Or as a bonus track on the EP. Alternatively, um, when the band got back together, I wrote a song called Everything to Lose. So that song's called Nothing to Lose. I wrote a song called Everything to Lose, which is actually a follow on from that song from the perspective of being 37 and, you know, not just being able to go out and get drunk with your friends and not caring about anything. And we thought about maybe doing a double A side where we'd release our newest song and our first ever song at the same time. So that's
Oh wow.
that's possibly what we'll do for that song.
All right, I've got a so I've got a bunch of questions from a lot of different people, which I will once these load. I do know one off the top of my head. I just want to know who asked it because I want them to get their credit. All right. Okay. S'more #1 Shaken fan on Discord and currently Andrea in chat wants to know what Man on a Hill is conceptually about.
That would be giving away the trade secrets.
Fair enough.
So originally, for me, The Man on the Hill was a song about death, and you know, I had this idea of a Grim Reaper type character who was looking down on these stories, these dead people, you know, and in that story in particular, the man who's standing above the grave. And one of the great things about that song being found was all the different interpretations of what people thought the story was about. And being honest, like we didn't give too much deep meaning to the story, and a lot of the interpretations that people gave us a lot of ideas of, you know, how could we continue this story? Is the man in the hill and the man above the grave the same person? Is it a figment of his imagination? You know, is it death waiting on him to kill himself? Or, you know, that, and the song is really about loss and you know, I'm careful of what words I use on YouTube, but you know, the lyrics are quite dark, and we, you know, we wrote some lyrics, quite dark lyrics like that when we were younger, and but yeah, the song thematically is about loss and grieving and this person who's ultimately going through turmoil in his life.
Interesting. Yeah, I have two personal interpretations. The one that pops in my head the most is just like a dark person who's done a lot of wrong, and the kind of the image I have in my brain is like someone robbing a bank, and there's all these people behind him, all his victims. He's putting himself up on this pedestal, the hill. He's so much better than all of you. Look at me. I have a mask on. Like whatever image you want to put, but someone's putting themselves on a pedestal and looking down at everyone that he's hurt, wronged, but you can't do anything about it because if you step out of line, he'll do it to you. And the other interpretation I have is more of a let me think about this. So I had it and I just lost it. That's amazing. Love how the brain works.
Brain is is mysterious.
Yes. I can also see it in kind of a positive light as well, because I can see it as a personal growth song. The man and his victims don't have to be different people. The man and his victims can be yourself in the past, killing your former self, getting rid of your skeletons, getting rid of your whatever you have that's holding you back, and you're shoving them down. You're killing off the bad versions of yourself, and there's nothing that they can do because you're in charge now.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, like genuinely, that has been one of my favorite things that's happened from all this. Is just seeing, and it sounds really arty and wanky to say, but like, you know, people have made their own interpretations of what the song means and what it means to them. And as an artist, like you can't ask for more than that. It's you've written something and you've recorded something that means something and
Hmm.
means something different to someone else, and that's great. Like that's I would sit and listen to songs when I was 17, 18, and I would think of these stories in my head and come up with all these what could this mean and what could that mean,
Hmm.
and I'm happy to leave open to interpretation. We do have plans to there's a song in the works at the moment that Scott and I are working on, which focuses on the man above the grave and the person in the grave. And yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
would
cool.
only do it if we can do justice to the song and the story. Like we don't want
Hmm.
to let's write Man on a Hill Part Two, and like we don't want to do that. But if we thought we could do something like really artistic and like have maybe some sort of concept EP or concept album where we introduce these characters and we give a bit more backstory to it. But we would only really do it if we thought that we could really bring something more to the song, because we wouldn't want to give context to the song that crushes someone else's interpretation of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I really respect that. I think I agree with you wholeheartedly about that. I think it's important when creating art to be aware of the end product of the art, which is obviously that, you want people to listen and appreciate it, and allowing people the space to be creative around your art is invaluable, from the perspective of the creator and the consumer. That kind of creates a nonverbal conversation between the artist and the art. And I think that in itself is, for me personally, the reason that I create art. So I really respect that. I appreciate you saying that, and I deeply believe in what you're saying. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it was a video of yours, Callie, that I watched where it was one of your first sort of off the cuff, like, hey, face
Hmm.
reveal like videos, and I think it's a video people should go watch. It
For sure.
deserves a lot more views.
For
Like,
sure.
and when we were recording Back for More, and especially the video, and we were getting ready to put it out, we were nervous because
Hmm.
we didn't know if people were going to like it. It's not Man on a Hill. Are we trying to give people what they want? Yeah, and there was something that you said in that video, and I'm sorry if I butcher your words, but you were like, I want to do what I want to do, and hopefully people like it.
Hmm.
And why not you? Why not you? Why not you do what you want to do and put that out there? And
Yeah.
ultimately, I think if you do that, and with the internet today, there'll be a market for it somewhere. And if you work hard enough and you put yourself out there, then um, you'll find your niche, you'll find your market, and as both of you guys have already proven, you'll find viewers and you'll find fans who appreciate what you do.
Everyone, I say half of this chat in my chat right now is people who, the second I click the live button, are immediately like, "What's up, dude?" Like the most dedicated, loyal
Hmm.
viewers, and I owe the reason I'm still going is because of the six or so of those people who are always there, like no matter time of day. It could be 3 a.m.
Hmm.
for me, and Felty, I'll say Felty could just show up out of nowhere, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure, I definitely agree with it's important to be creative in your own right, but not condemning others' creativity because of it is
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
really
mean,
important.
you guys are lucky. I mean, Jordy, you've got that voice. Like, you could sell a Vision Pro to a blind man. Um, you know, Callie, you've got this internet voice that let's watch this crazy video about 10 of the creepiest things to happen on the internet. Like, you've got this serious niche. Like, I think that was a lot of the comments you got on your videos were like, yeah, like you just have this unique style of speaking, and I think that lends itself really well to your content, and
I appreciate
I'd
that.
hopefully see more of that. And Jordy, like, you yeah, you can put a point across. You're very articulate, and yeah, like, I wish I had that kind of confidence to make those kind of videos sometimes. But
I'll tell you right now, man, I fucking don't. I just press record and it comes out of my mouth, and that's the video. That's all that happens. I don't like click record and go, fuck yeah, let's record this video. No, I click record and I go, I'm recording this video.
But you can tell in your videos that you're passionate about what you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
True,
If I
very
thought for
true.
a second that you weren't, that you were making it for content, which obviously you are, but if I felt like that's why you were making it, then it wouldn't come across as genuine. But when I watch your videos, I can tell that you're genuinely passionate about the things that you're talking about, and that to viewers, I think is great. And
Yep.
you know,
If it's
that's why I
got
came on. Like, you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing and what you've done for the community and for myself.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm deeply honored hearing you say that. Thank
yeah,
you.
I try to stay humble, but that I do every now and then like to take in those wins.
Yeah, true. I think when you're creating things, you kind of always have to acknowledge those moments, because those are the points I think in your career where you should take those wins, you know? Like even if they are tiny, even if it is like one comment or something that you read and that's one conversation you're having, I think that there's some sort of like there's something to say about that, you know? There's something special about that moment that someone chose to take a second to choose to talk to you about this. And
Oh, for
I think that's
sure.
very important, and that's something that is very that resonates with a lot of people through music. uh you know, because people that come, and I'm sure you guys get this a lot, you know, where people message you guys and like Jordy did earlier, share their stories and their experiences with your songs. um and having that interaction is very interesting and a bit more unique than having a comment on a video or something, right? Because then that's someone really going through the effort to have a conversation with you about it. um
Yeah,
so yeah.
totally. Like, one thing that we've tried to do through all of this is obviously remain humble. Like what
Hmm.
happened to us was a fluke, and it was lucky, and we'll never take for granted what this community, the you know, the I don't think it's a thing anymore, but Dance for Hours a Day server, the Fun My Mind server,
Hmm.
on Discord, and r/Lostwave, r/ There's a Man, like,
Hmm.
and you know, just wanting to be a part of that community, and not as David from The Defended, but just as someone who's now a part of this community and
Yeah.
enjoys, you know, watching your guys' videos and seeing the songs getting solved and seeing the memes and the artwork, and you know, it's just great. It's a great community, and I think it's something that's going to get bigger
Yeah.
um over the next couple of years.
For
There's
sure.
always going to be songs out there, like I said before, the UK music scene in the 2000s, the MySpace era, the fact that they lost so much music on MySpace, like there's going to be so many songs out there that are going to be
Oh
uncovered.
yeah.
And
Yeah, there's songs
um,
right now that like we're theorizing we're never gonna hear because MySpace.
yeah,
So, but okay, I'll interject with something a little funnier.
Hmm.
All right, haha, yes, number one Fallen King fan on Discord would like to ask. This might sound weird, but why did they add the doot doodaloot doodaloot doot 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 part? That is their question.
Mm.
so in the British indie music at the time, there was a really popular musical theme, which was to go do 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 do, or na 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 na, and that was actually the first part of the song that we wrote.
Oh wow.
So I had written some chords and was playing around with those chords in Scott's bedroom, and I actually started, maybe jokingly, maybe not, going and that was the basis of the song. We formed the rest of the song around that. There was a Scottish band called the Fratellis who
Mhm.
had a song called Chelsea Dagger. It's a deep cut. It's not really. If there's British people here, they'll know it. And they had a song at the time that was like,
Oh, I know this song. Yeah.
and it was quite popular to do that at the time, and we were 17, 18, and we were trying to write songs to fit into a genre at that time.
Hmm.
And that just that grew out of that.
Yeah,
And yeah, people liked it. If you're on stage and you have, at the end of Weekenders, we have the people can sing along to that because they don't have to
Mhm.
learn the words, and you're playing a gig and people can, they'll listen, and after the first time they hear that thing, they can start singing along, and it's it's a bit of a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's a good question.
Yeah, I think I was more expecting it to be like when I personally used to write songs. Sometimes I would make up lyric melodies with and then I would later add lyrics. So I thought maybe it'd be something like that. But to hear that it's actually like it was intended always to be that is kind of interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, to be fair, it is a bit of both. Like, I might release this at some point, but when we released Back for More and it was out on Spotify, I sent Scott and Stephen a voice note, and it was the original voice note that I sent Scott the night that I wrote Back for More, and it was literally me going, because I didn't have words.
Mhm.
So that is something that I do quite often. Is I'll come up with a melody, and I'll just make up absolute gibberish for it. And yeah, like maybe if we released a little making of Back for More video, I could put that, like, this just me really badly singing and playing an electric guitar into my iPhone and sending it to Scott, because that's how we collaborate. It's like I send him some chords and some gibberish, and then he's like, "Oh, that's good. I like this." And what about change that part? Or maybe he'll bring something to it, and then vice versa. If he writes something, he'll send it to me, and we work that way. And then we get together and we form that gibberish and those do-do-dos into lyrics and words and stories.
That's awesome. Your audio notes must just be littered with ideas.
Yeah, and they're mostly terrible. So if anyone out there is a musician or a songwriter and they're trying to do that, like, yeah, my phone is just absolutely littered with garbage. Like, we were trying to get a set list together, and we're going to start rehearsing a set list, and
Mhm.
in the hopes to start playing live again soon, maybe in
Oh,
the
cool.
next year.
That's
And
exciting.
I was going through my Google Drive, and I had like easily about 15 to 20 songs on there. Some of them I can't even remember writing. Some good, some terrible. Like, and
Mhm.
I was just like, I don't even remember writing those words. Like,
Yeah.
but they're there. They're things.
Yeah. I think I just opened up my audio notes app, and I don't know if you can see on stream, but I have like 400 that are all named something random just
Oh, it
over the
became
course of years.
it became an
So
addiction for me.
Wow.
I think I have that app deleted because it takes up so much damn space on my phone. I think
yeah,
I
it's like
had over
gigabytes.
2,000 voice notes before I was like, okay, this is an addiction. I need to stop. And I deleted it.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're
I
right
miss
though.
it.
It's very important for like musicians and stuff to like, because when you have an idea in that moment, you just need to get it out immediately, or else I don't know about you, but I have so I have ADHD. So in moments when I have a burst of inspiration or I have an idea, I need to record it immediately, or that is gone. My brain will just absolutely let that go, and it'll never come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite similar. Like, I have to, even if I'm walking to the store, and I'm, in my head I start going like, like, I have
Hmm.
to do that in the phone, and think like I have to remember this for later.
Yeah.
Or if I hear like a quote from a book, or I hear someone say something cool or obscure, like I'll write it down in my notes app,
Hmm.
and hopefully come back to it later.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
got I'm gonna do some rapid fires here.
Hmm.
sweet.
Okay. What age did you learn that music was what you wanted to do? Like when did that eureka moment click for you?
I don't know the exact date, but I know I was around 13 years old. My family had just moved to a different town to be closer to my dad's work, and I didn't really have any friends. This is a sad story. And I used to spend all my pocket money at Blockbuster, and I used to just rent like shit tons of videotapes, and my dad would be like, watch this video and that video. But this one in particular is a movie called Con Air. I don't know if you know the Nick Cage movie, Con Air. And there was a scene in that movie where they're dancing to Sweet Home Alabama, on the plane. The prisoners have taken over the plane, and they're dancing to Sweet Home Alabama. And I had guitars in the house, and I'd kind of like tried to learn and not really bothered. And I heard that dum 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 ba dum bum ba dum, and I remember going downstairs, and my dad, who taught me how to play, and my dad's like a musical savant, like he knows fucking everything about music. I was like, I want to learn how to play that, and he showed me how to play, and from then it was like, this is what I want to do. He gave me like songbooks and Oasis songs, and you know, a book that was for like buskers. So I had like 101 songs for buskers, and it was like Mustang Sally and Brown Eyed Girl and you know, Twist and Shout, like the Beatles, and
All the hits.
you know, yeah, all the hits that you can play. And yeah, I think I joined when I moved back to my hometown, and I formed a band with my friends in school, called Red Bin, and we started writing songs, and from then on, from the age of say 15 until really honestly until the Defended split up, like all I ever wanted to be was a rock star. I went to college to do music. That's how I met Scott, and Louis, and yeah, from like 16, maybe 13, all the way to 22, 23, like all I wanted to do was be a rock star. And to be honest, like by the time I was 24, 25 and it didn't work out, I'd kind of given up on it. Like the scene had changed. You know, there was a lot of like pay to play in Glasgow.
You're the old man
just,
now.
yep, that's it. Yeah.
When you're 25, it's over. That's
Yeah,
all. That's all there
pretty
is.
Hey, let's not be jumping the gun there, guys. Let's not be jumping the gun on the old 25. All right, I think the 25 is the new 20 is what they're saying actually. So
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
they're saying on the blog?
that's what they're saying. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Rumors.
Okay.
I don't think it's ever over.
No,
All right.
I agree with you.
So, all right, we got number one white trash / Resident Evil fan. He wants to know, what's their favorite The Defended song? Maybe ?
Don't know if I can speak for the other guys, but my favorite Defended song, but it's hard not to say Back for More because it's like recency bias. But we knew when we wrote and finished Man in the Hill that it was a good song. Like we knew that. We have a song called Back on Track, which I wrote about my ex-girlfriend, and it's a really fast, punchy song. It's a song that's in our set list, and we probably will record that song. And I think that's probably one of the funnest songs to play. I've recently written a song called The Last Time, which is it's going to be a shift. For us, it's a slower song. It's more even like it's more of a Lewis Capaldi song than a Defended song, to be honest. But I think lyrically, it's probably one of the best songs I've ever written, and I really like that song at the moment. But if I was forced to say right now, I'd probably say Back for More.
All right. Let me see. We should have a few more. I know there's one more person who wanted a question. Okay, Zapper RS wants to know. Ask them what's the story behind Power to the People in Weekenders.
So Power to the People was loosely based on a true story. I was in a bar, and there was a girl there who, this is going back to like, 2007, 2008. Like left-wing politics weren't really in the mainstream at the time, and nowadays it's really common to see people like, shouting, all these kind of things. And there was a girl in the bar, and she was really drunk, and she was getting in trouble, and she was shouting Power to the People. I don't know if it was like satire or what she was doing, but like I was kind of just like, what the fuck is going on here? And I genuinely was like trying not to make eye contact with her because she was kind of like going up to people in the bar, and yeah, like that was how that song was sort of based on. Scott wrote the chorus to that song, so he came in and he had written the. She said, "Power to the people, power to the people," and I wrote the verses, the sitting at the bar trying to unwind part, and that was the first song that we actually collaborated on, as a writing team. And yeah, I think we have an early recording of that song as well, somewhere. Weekenders is a song about going out and getting drunk and regretting your choices, and um, looking forward to Friday and trying to stave off Monday as much as possible.
Classic.
At that time, we were all working 9 to 5 jobs. We were all 19, 20.
Mhm.
We enjoyed partying. We enjoyed hanging out. And yeah, someone actually pointed out today, there's a line in that song that says, "The Social really know what's to be done." And the band, The Defended, were originally called The Social.
Oh,
So
wow.
when we wrote that song, we were saying The Social really know what's to be done. But then there was a much bigger band called The Social, and we had to change the
Mhm.
name, and we just kept that line in there. So Weekenders is really just about partying and having a good time when you're young and
All right.
living for the weekends.
All right. So
Hell yeah.
so the lyric was cringe, and then it wasn't anymore. Is what you're saying?
Exactly.
All right. All right.
100%.
Full cycle.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is, I think, all the questions I've got for you. Let me check the
Mhm.
r/Lostwave server first, but I believe that's it.
Trippy Drew says The Weekenders is such a relatable song. And I totally agree. I think a lot of people can relate to that sentiment of trying to like just enjoy the fun while it lasts and soak up every single moment, you know?
Yeah, we're glad that people like that song. That there's, we
Mhm.
didn't know there's a line in the song that says pubs and clubs and 3-day benders, and we didn't know if people would know what a bender was because it can mean something bad where
Mhm.
we're from. But a
Oh,
bender is like when you go out drinking for a long time and like you're on a bender.
oh yeah.
It's maybe a Scottish term. I'm not sure, but
Oh yeah,
um,
here it usually refers to being strung out on cocaine or other substances for
Oh,
days at a
yeah,
time. That's what
yeah.
it
well,
So
means.
yeah,
that's
yeah. So
crazy.
it translates. That's good.
No, well, I knew exactly what it meant, and let me tell you, yeah, been there, done that. Benders definitely happen in Vancouver.
That was that we always used to close with that song, and it's got that sort of voices in unison thing at the end, and it was a really good way to end our sets. We often
Hmm.
would end our sets with that song.
Oh, that's awesome.
All
That's
right,
phenomenal.
well, I think that is all the questions. We kind
Hmm.
of took up more of your time than I think you wanted, but good
Oh, that's
conversation.
cool.
Good
Yeah.
conversation. If you had, we'll do a little closing moment here. If you had one thing to say to any kid, aspiring artist, struggling artist, anyone at all, you could say one thing to them, and it's a flash moment in your life. You'll never see this person again, but you need to make the biggest impact you can on them. What words are you saying to that person?
It's never over. It's never over. Like I'd given up on music. Yeah, I had completely moved on with my life, changed careers, you know, and I'd kind of forgotten about even my passion for making music. And in the space of one morning, lying in my bed looking at my phone, everything just came back to me. That passion, that desire, that um, buzz and just excitement for creating things. And I regret that I let myself um let it go. And I don't think that you should ever let it go, because I think if you stick at something for long enough and hard enough, then you can make it work. And I had essentially given up, and I got a second chance. So just don't give up. Keep doing what you're passionate about. Keep writing songs. Keep um, maybe not to Cali levels of thousands of notes in your phone, but keep recording what you do. And yeah, don't give up.
Wow,
Powerful.
that's super
Powerful.
inspiring. You got me all ready to go. I'm pumped. I'm getting jittery.
We gotta play video games after this, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, it's gonna be the most hype gaming session ever. I'm stoked. Well, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. I'm deeply honored that you would come here and hang out with us. It honestly means the world to me. And you know, it's funny, like you're saying how it's surprising to you to be here. It's like it's crazy for
I can sum
me
this
too.
up in the best way. When you got off that phone call, me and him were just like, dude, I feel so important.
Yeah, literally, as soon as we got in the private call, we were like, "Oh my god, that was so cool."
Yeah. No, thank you guys for having me on. Like it
Mhm.
means a lot to us as well. Like, that if you're doing things in the future, reach out. Like we're always approachable.
Oh yeah, I was
You know,
gonna.
to the
I was just
people-
gonna say that if you ever want to come back and do this again, just send a message and you're there like instantly.
Totally.
Yeah.
I can't actually see the chat, but to the people in the chat, the guys are doing this for a really good cause. If you can donate anything at all, like a couple of dollars, whatever it is, like please !donate in the chat and give generously if you can afford to. If not, like thank you for being here and thank you for hosting me.
If you
Yeah,
can't
our
afford
pleasure.
it, just pass it on to someone who can.
Yeah. Before we finish up, is there anything you'd like to shout out? Any socials you'd like people to go check out?
Yeah, we're on pretty much all the socials at The Defended Official on Instagram, at The Defended Official on TikTok, although I don't post there that often, at The Defended on X, where usually we just chat shit on there. We're more sort of conversational. We've just joined Facebook as The Defended, and we're on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube for more songs coming soon, and make sure to say hello and let us know you're there, and drop us a line, and we try to respond, at least respond, and try to reply to as much as we can. And yeah, like pop up and say hello.
I can attest to this. You responded to my Reddit DM of all things very, very promptly.
I happened to be on Reddit when you messaged me, so that was lucky.
Perfect timing.
All right, well,
Amazing.
yeah.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, it's been a
Great
pleasure.
time. Great time. An honor, in fact. More than a pleasure. It's been an honor to have you on here. Thanks for coming on, supporting the cause, and sharing your story. So if you ever want to do this again, just let us know.
Awesome, guys. Thanks again. Good luck with your stream. Good luck with your channels. I'll be watching. I'm subscribed to both of you guys. And yeah, best luck in the future.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your
Hey,
night.
guys.
Peace,
Bye-bye.
See ya.
man. All right, we got to switch back
Awesome.
over to. I'll go to the now playing screen for now, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be. Right now, we will be listening to The Defended's new song, "Back for More."